What's up guys, Hoop Break here, and today I'm going to be switching up my video style a little bit. In the past I've more analyzed stats, but today I actually want to go through some footage with you guys and really analyze the footage of one of my favorite, most underrated players in the league, which is Domantas Sabonis. He's a European big and he doesn't get nearly the recognition he deserves in the league. And he's honestly been lighting it up this season. So why? Why doesn't he get the recognition he deserves? It's for a couple reasons. Number one, he plays for a small market team, and honestly the Pacers haven't really been notable in a while. He's never made it out the first round of the playoffs. Foreign-born players often don't really get much attention from American NBA fans because, you know, we grow up on players. We watch certain players develop through all of high school and college and have a sort of emotional attachment to them. For example, I've been watching Cole Anthony since we were both sophomores in high school. And I'll always root for Cole Anthony throughout his career because of that. No American fan has a connection with Sabonis, which is actually something overlooked and pretty interesting with European players. He's also nowhere near flashy. He has a very old school style of play. Yeah, so now that we've gone over why he's overlooked, let's look at the beauty of his game. So this season, as I said before, Sabonis has been absolutely lighting it up. Just to give you guys a little overview, through the first 10 games, he's averaged 22 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, and 6 assists per game on 56% from the field and 41% from three. That's a lot of points on very good splits. Do I expect him to maintain it? Not quite, but if he can hold his stats around there, he might be in the MVP race. So a good way to describe his impact, that was a big statement. I don't know about that one. A good way to describe his impact is to look at the Heat series in last year's playoffs. Everyone expected like the Heat in 6, the Heat in 5, the Heat in 7. The Heat completely swept they swept the Pacers without even having a game that was super close. And I would completely attribute that to the fact that Sabonis wasn't playing. So now let's get right into my first play analysis topic, which is three-point shooting.
Lately I've been feeling good, I'm up, I've been feeling rich enough. They all wanna come along.
So first, I'd like to go over one of his biggest improvements this year, which is three-point shooting. Last year I think he was like 28% from three. This year so far he's 41%. Do I think he'll maintain the 41%? No. I think it'll dip a bit, but even if it dips by 5%, 36% from three is very good for a 6'11 guy classified as a power forward center. So without further ado, let's get right into some clips. So here he knows that Brogdon's going to draw on Drummond. Drummond's frozen. He's wide open from three. Easy money, buckets. All right, watch this play. All right, let's go over this one real quick. All right, notice how here he comes up for the screen, but he doesn't set a screen. He just slips it, which catches his defender off guard. Because if he didn't slip it, he would have taken much more time to pop out to three. But because he slipped it, he just makes a spin move and he's right at the three-point line. And JaVale McGee is not going to pop out to the three. He's much more worried about helping here. And he's much more worried about Brogdon driving, because Brogdon would have a pretty good lane without McGee. So McGee has to help there. That leaves Sabonis wide open, easy three. Alright, as you see here, Brogdon threatens a drive. Mitchell Robinson has to help. He didn't even think about contesting on that Sabonis three. And yeah, easy. Alright, here TJ Warren's driving. Sabonis is honestly open, and this was just horrible defense by Noel. Do not disrespect someone's shot that hard. You're an NBA player. Close out if you can. Alright, so a couple things I recognize. The guys guarding Sabonis are often bigger, less mobile players with no experience in perimeter defense. Like Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson, Andre Drummond, those guys are not going to close out, which I think is a reason as to why he gets open looks from three. I think he just doesn't need to create from three with his defenders. His threes are basically all open driving kicks. So I'd like to see him work on his pick and pop game with Brogdon in the future, maybe TJ McConnell, because I want to see him expand his three-point game.
Take the hater, put it in the blind, light it out, smoke it out, light it out.
See, Sabonis slip, rolls right to the hoop, gets the ball, 2 dribbles, goes in hard. You see he goes pump fake here, knows Robinson's a shot block, knows he's going to have his feet off the ground. Once he sees his feet off the ground, he goes up right away, easy and 1 foul. Strong bucket for Sabonis. Alright, this play really shows the power of good screens. Look how much contact he gets on that screen. That much contact on a screen is going to force Obi, who's Sabonis' man, to switch on to Holiday. That gives Sabonis the lead on number 10 here. I don't know who that is. The lead on him and an easy and one. Look at that. Let's watch it again. Hard screen, jet straight to the basket. Nice catch. Gather. Bucket. Alright. So here, let's stop it real quick. You see Ntilikina on Sabonis and Knox is on McDermott. Sabonis hands it off to McDermott, and look where he's positioned here. He's positioned in a spot where he really can't do anything. Like, if he gets the ball there, he's not going to be able to do much. So what's that do? Well, Knox is still paying attention to Holiday, who's his man, but because Ntilikina's man, Sabonis, can't be engaged in the action at that moment, Ntilikina's also paying attention to Holiday, who's the only person who can actually make a decision with the ball at that point. So Sabonis is like, oh, my man's on Holiday. That means Holiday's about to be doubled because I'm not going to be caught lacking. That's an easy bucket. Cut right to the hoop. Woo! And one. Alright, on this next play, you see Brogdon, McDermott taking it in, and here, let me rewind just a tad bit here. Alright, look what Sabonis is doing. He's completely blocking off Randall, and this is putting Randall in a tough position because he can jump off Sabonis and help on McDermott, but that will put Sabonis in a great position to just score the bucket. He just needs to move in the opposite direction of McDermott's drive and where Randall helps. So McDermott's going to drive left, Randall helps, dump off to Sabonis, pump fake, easy bucket. And as you can see, his implementation of pump fakes is beautiful. He not only goes for a lot of them, but he gets a lot of pump fakes. He really sells them. Now for the same exact play in a different game. Alright, let's look at that again. Alright, so you see Brogdon. He goes here, the seal. Holmes decides to help on Brogdon. Leaves Sabonis open, pump fake. This time he really gets Rashawn Holmes on that pump fake and gets the and one. And if you rewind here, I want to go over Holmes' other options. So let's say, Brogdon's other options. Let's say Holmes decides to stay on Sabonis. Then Brogdon's probably going to get, you see, Bagley would have probably contested it, and he probably would have missed a shot and got fouled. He could have also hit it to Miles Turner. That's one of Miles Turner's best spots from three. That's a pretty high percentage shot from him, so that's a good option too. So he has the option of taking it in, passing it to Sabonis, or hitting Miles Turner. This is such a good set for the Pacers. There's so many potential options to go to on this one. Alright, so on this one, Sabonis sees he has a mismatch immediately, and he just puts his hand up and starts calling for the ball. Glenn Robinson is not going to be able to stop Sabonis. He knows that all the Kings defenders are completely spread out. This is a very spread formation, and that he's going to get the ball in about 2 seconds before help comes to put it up. So what's he do? Catches it, puts it up right away. And you realize with Sabonis, he usually takes his time, pump fakes, but he recognizes the help coming here, and he's genius just to put it up right away and get the easy bucket. Alright, here Sabonis gets the ball down there in the post, and he says, time to get to work. So first he tries to make a quick move left and get a step on Markkanen. Markkanen's still with him. Then he tries to bounce off him real quick. Markkanen's still with him, and as you can see, Markkanen's body's rotated, so he's trying to defend the shot on that side of the hoop. Sabonis sees where Markkanen's hands are and sees that his feet are now set. So he says, okay, Markkanen wants to defend here. I'm just going to go around and loop it for the easy reverse. Now let's watch that on full speed. One of the beautiful things about Sabonis' offensive game is he knows when he needs to rush shots. He's so situationally aware. And most of the time he doesn't rush shots. He pump fakes, takes his time. But if he needs to, like that one play where help was coming in hot, he just put it up. You know, he knows when to do that. Another thing that I think is amazing about Sabonis is that he can drop 25 a night without shooting a single low percentage shot. The way he positions himself, plays ball screens, and cuts to the rim, that's what gets him so many open looks. And a lot of his points aren't from, contested shots. They aren't from difficult shots. They're just from perfect executions of pick and rolls and give and goes. And I think that's one of the reasons why the casual fan doesn't really appreciate him. The casual fan doesn't really appreciate like the nitty gritty X's and O's of the game like we do. Alright, so I thought this was going to be like a 10-minute video, one-part video, but I ended up getting pretty carried away with the clips, and it's a lot of footage, so I'm splitting it into two. So that was part one. We did inside scoring and three-point shooting. Next time we got playmaking, transition, and defense, so that should be pretty fun as well. And yeah, until then, it should be coming out in the next week. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, download the Hoop Break app, and get outside, get hooping. Enjoy the weather if it's not as trash for you as it is here. I'm in Illinois, and it's snowing like this second, so if you're in a nice place, take advantage of it and go outside and hoop. Until then, break.